Alright, so in this video, I'm going to explain everything there is to know about the four-wheel drive, the vacuum four-wheel drive of a 98 Dodge Ram 1500 4x4 with a 5.9. I took off the air cleaner for clarification of a few things. Now my truck did not go into four-wheel drive simply because this rubber grommet on top of the four-wheel drive actuator was causing a vacuum leak. As you can see how twisted it is, the little bend in it was able to create that much of a difference, as you can see. So these trucks need 15 inches, between 10 to 20 inches of vacuum. I got mine actually to work with 16 inches, but typically from the dealer they had told me that it's anywhere between 10 to 20 inches of vacuum to make the four-wheel drive system work. And this here is the four-wheel drive actuating switch that's on the transfer case. Let's see, this one right here is for vacuum supply. This one here is the green vent tube that a lot of people are curious about. And this one here is for the black line that actuates the four-wheel drive, and this one here was for the red line to disengage the four-wheel drive. So typically this would fit onto there like that, and that's how that would work. That would just fit on top of this snugly. This ball here slides on a piece inside the transfer case. When this is depressed in all the way, when that's pressed in all the way, it supplies vacuum to the the black hose rather, supplies vacuum to the black hose to engage the four-wheel drive. And obviously mine was stuck, which is why it wasn't working right. Anyways, number one, where does the vacuum come from? The vacuum actually comes from this right here. Let's try to zoom in as best I can for you. This here is the vacuum supply, and it actually plugs into the manifold. Try to get a clear perspective of this. Actually, right here, where the hose clamp is, that's actually where it gets the vacuum from the intake plenum. So it goes over here, and the white line, which goes behind the distributor, this white line right there is the vacuum supply, this right here. So it goes along behind the distributor and down. This green line here, which a lot of people are curious about, and this is just simply a vent. This cap here keeps dirt and moisture out of the vent line. So that's all it does, it just hangs here. That doesn't do anything except vent out to the four-wheel drive. But this white line here is your main source of vacuum. So that's how that works. And I will pause this for a second so I can get underneath the truck. Okay, so I'm underneath my truck now. Right there is the four-wheel drive switch that I had told you about just before. I did replace it. I, however, also used vacuum hose in place of that black block I told you about to run my lines. So we have the black line and the red line. All those lines were needed to go into the transfer case right there. Now keep in mind, what I would highly recommend is to use a vacuum gauge while attaching these lines, because if you don't have your clamps tight enough, you will not get the right amount of vacuum you need to make the system work. Remember, you need between 10 to 20 inches of vacuum. And if you don't have that, your system is not going to work. So using a vacuum gauge while hooking up these lines is extremely important. So we have right here we have try to zoom out a little bit. So right here we have our red vacuum line, which goes into these steel lines, and the black one is over here. Here's a black vacuum line. Unfortunately, hopefully you can be able to see this, because I don't have a flashlight. Yeah. But here's the black vacuum line. The black vacuum line engages the four-wheel drive, and the red one disengages it. So what happened with my truck was that my black vacuum line, this steel line, was clogged. So no matter how much vacuum I was pulling through the black line, it was stopping here. So I actually ended up having to replace this line because it was clogged and the vacuum wasn't getting to where it needed to go. So the lines come around here along the frame, and then they actually connect over here. And that's where they connect on the frame. And that's the red line there. And that's the actuator right there for the four-wheel drive. So as long as you get the 15 inches of vacuum, I would say 15 inches at least of vacuum, then your four-wheel drive indicator will work and your truck will go into four-wheel drive. Once again, right there is there's a black line right there to engage the four-wheel, and then the red line to disengage the four-wheel. And it goes right into the actuator right there. So hopefully this is all useful. So you know, that just shows that the green line is for venting, and it's if you look over by your distributor, it's over there, and it actually just vents out, and the cap is there to keep water and dirt out. But you know, that's just to vent the system. The white supply line to supply vacuum, and in this case that came from the intake plenum for the vacuum. I got 18 inches of vacuum directly at the plenum, and so that's good. I mean, as long as you get like at least 15, I imagine, then you'd be in good shape. You know, 20 is the maximum, but you know, 18 was from the plenum itself, so I really don't think you'll get any more than 18. So but that's pretty much it. Hopefully this answers a lot of questions that people would have as far as the lines and whatever else. So hopefully this video was quite useful.